Welcome to episode 7 of Scaling a Social Media Marketing Agency. My name is Hervin, and this is a video series where I take you behind the scenes of our marketing agency and show you what we're doing to scale it. I am documenting the journey here, so I am sharing what I am working on a day-to-day basis, the problems that I am trying to solve, the lessons that I am learning. So let's dive right in. Today, I worked on a couple of things. So number one, I spoke to 2 clients to let them know about our new service change, about our new core offer. So we are changing the way we are providing value to our clients. So instead of meeting with our clients once a month, like we're doing now, we're changing that to meeting with our clients once a week. On top of that, in the past, we used to manage our clients ads on the back end without them seeing what we are doing. Now we're bringing that to the front end. So we're making slight tweaks to make our service more valuable for our clients. And with that, it's coming with a price change. So I was chatting with them about it. One of them was excited. The other one was going to talk to her business partner to figure out what she wanted to do. But yeah, so spoke to 2 of our clients. I also had a sales call. So this person booked, they found out about us through a referral partner. She needed, at the beginning, she thought she needed help with just like a software. And then through the conversation, it came up that she needed help with a couple of things. So what stands out from this sales call is that I did number one of the things that Alex Ramosi suggested when I was chatting with him. I actually played the video, like the VSL that I had created for her on the call. So that was useful because I didn't have to repeat myself there. I wish you would have seen it prior to jumping on the call. It would have made things a lot faster. It's still a little awkward to make somebody watch that video with you, but I did that on the call. And I gave her the new pricing, which I felt really good about. Like our new pricing option is $599, or if they pay for the year upfront, we discount $500 for the year. So they have the option to pay for the month to month or the yearly option. Now, this person wasn't ready to commit on the call. So what I did is I did something called the BAM FAM, book a meeting from a meeting. This is a tip that I got from being in the Alex Ramosi workshop. So rather than leaving it up to people to, instead of saying like, if somebody tells you, hey, I need to think about it, instead of me saying like, okay, go ahead and think about it. It's like, okay, let's book a call next time. So that way we could just make the decision. So I did that and I'm feeling pretty good about it. I mean, she really liked the offer and everything that I talked to her about our program. I also learned, so right now, the way I'm talking about our program is this. It's like, okay, if you join us, you get 3 things. So number 1, you get help with the advertising to help you generate leads. Number 2, you get help with your automations to help you turn those leads into students. So to follow up with those leads so they don't fall through the cracks. And number 3, we provide you one-on-one weekly ongoing coaching and support to make sure that you make the most out of the system. So that's the 3 things that I'm including in the core offer. However, I didn't emphasize all the work that we do in our onboarding, like the fact that we do the tech setup for them, the fact that we take the time to train them on one-on-one calls to make sure that it works for them. So that is something that I even want to refilm the VSL. I'm not going to right this second, but that is something that I need to do. It's like when talking about the core offer, it's not just what we do ongoing, but it's also like the onboarding that we do is a really awesome experience because we do the tech setup. We train our clients on how to use our system. We answer their questions, which that is something that differentiates us from our competitors, but I'm not taking advantage of the fact that we're doing all of that to say that on the call and make them aware of all the value that we're providing for them. So that's something that I need to improve upon. I need to make a note to do that, but I'm happy that I did the book a meeting from a meeting because we schedule for next week. So I'm excited to see where that call goes. So yeah, that was something else that I worked on. So that was the sales call that I worked on today. I also had a meeting with our team where we chatted about maintaining the ads with the calls with the clients, which is something that we're going to be moving towards, right? With this new offer, instead of having the ads maintenance be done on the back end, we're now going to be doing that on the front end with the clients on the call. So I want to make sure that my team knows how to educate our clients on their ads and like how their ads are performing, whether they're working well or not, whether they should change things or not. And that was a useful call, a useful training. I came to the conclusion that we need to be doing this at least once a week to make sure that our team knows how to handle questions that the clients ask, and like how to handle different scenarios, how to make judgment calls when it comes to how to manage to maintaining the ad. So that is something that I feel like we are going to need to do consistently. So that was something else that I worked on today. One of the ideas that I gave to our team, which came out of nowhere. So I was watching a video of Gary Vee. So let me just pull it up here on my screen. So there is this video on that says how to grow on social media, strategy you need to grow on social media in 2025, roofing conference. So it was Gary Vee speaking to roofers and general contractors, so small business owners, telling them to post more on social media. That was the ideal message. And one of the big takeaways that I had from watching that video is that he tells these roofers, hey, you want to post on social media? Because a lot of these roofers are like, who cares about posting on social media? Like, I don't want, if I spend the time to post on social media and then somebody sees, so if I'm in Miami and somebody over there in like Canada sees this video, they're not going to be able to hire me. Or like, if somebody sees this in California and I'm in Miami, they're not going to be able to hire me. What do I care about those views? And so what Gary Vee was saying is that if you post content on Instagram, on TikTok, and then you see that there's content that, you know, quote unquote goes viral or does better, you can take that same piece of content and then run that as an advertising campaign, run that as an ad, like drive traffic to it, pay Facebook ads to run ads using that creative, that video, that picture. And I thought that was very interesting because one of the problems that we have for our clients is that, first of all, we always need new pictures, new videos, for them to give us new pictures, new videos, so that we have options to use in their advertising to make sure that, you know, their ads are always getting great results. So we need the pictures, we need the videos. And one of the things that I think is going to, like, one of the ideas that came to me today is that we could tell our clients, instead of giving us the pictures, we could say like, hey, look, take pictures this week, let's put them up on social media and let's see what works best. That way, when we meet next week, we see the post that got the best results, and then we can use that on your advertising. So then we are testing what worked without actually having to spend money. So that's actually a lot of value right there, because you get to see what works without having to spend money on it. And then when you run an ad that worked on social media organically, like if people liked it without you paying for it, then it's going to work even better as an ad. So I thought that was a brilliant idea that Gary Vee gave, that I'm just taking and now applying that for our business owners, just to give them a little bit of consulting in terms of like, how should they think about creating videos and so on. And it's like, well, let's take the ones that are already performing on your social media, on your Instagram, on your TikTok. And if you're not doing that, then you should, because then it helps like know which pictures, which videos are going to do well in the advertising. On top of that, it's going to differentiate you from other business owners because you have a great online presence. So when people find you and they search you and they search you for your business on social media, they're going to see that you're way different. And then on top, so it's going to help your brand. And then on top of that, it's going to help you generate business. So if anybody sees that locally, that's also going to generate business for you. So it's only a win-win here. And I think that that's a good idea to convince our clients, not to just give us videos and pictures, but actually to use those videos and pictures on social media to help them validate whether it should be like, whether we should use whatever they post, like whatever picture, whatever video as an ad. So anyway, I just caught that sometimes, like the biggest takeaways from me, like the best ideas come randomly out of nowhere. Like I was just watching that video on YouTube. I just find Gary Vee interesting. I'm also somebody who's obviously like posting consistently on, not social media, but here on YouTube. I guess it is kind of social media. So I am interested in growing my YouTube channel, which is why I watch these videos for how to grow on social media, etc. And then I just happened to catch something that he said that sparked a great idea. And like, yeah, so it just seems like these ideas come randomly out of nowhere, but I feel like that is something good to do. It's like we're providing, on top of revising our clients' ad results on a week-to-week basis, if we could also revise how their social media is performing, and then say like, hey, based on your performance on social media, this type of content that you're posting seems to be getting more likes, shares, comments, views than everything else that you're posting. Let's use as advertising and do that on a week-to-week basis. I feel like that's super valuable. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Something else that I work on today is that I met with, his name is Justin. He works at acquisition.com, which is Alex Ramosi's company, Alex and Layla's company. And I had some questions with him. I'm going to read them to you. So you could see here the questions that I had sent Justin. So one of the things that Alex Ramosi told us in the meeting with him is that we should charge $5.99 for our services, and then on top of that, charge a one-time onboarding fee for $5,000, where we are going to do all the onboarding for them. It's kind of like what I was talking about with the person who I spoke to today in the sales call, where I didn't do a good job at explaining the onboarding. So that is actually something that I'm going to need to improve on, because we're going to be charging for the onboarding a one-time fee of $5,000, which includes an in-person live onboarding with me, where people get to fly out to South Florida, where we're at, and we get to onboard them in person. So that, that is a lot of value there. And I was thinking to myself, like, okay, it's good. I could see the value. Like, I could see how people who would fly out to us, like, I can sit with them for a day, give them strategy, show them how to grow their business. That's going to be fantastic. But how do I pitch it? How do I sell it? Because, obviously $5,000 seems like a high ticket thing. How am I going to get people to sign up for this? And yeah, so what is the sales script going to look like? That was one of my main questions, is like, am I saying like, hey, you're getting, when I talk to people and I find out what their problem is. So let's just say the person says, I'm struggling, my numbers are down. I say, cool, it sounds like you need help with your marketing to generate more leads. It sounds like you need help with the automation. And the person says, yes, I need that. And I'm like, cool, that's what StudioHub does. And on top of that, we're going to meet with you one-on-one once a week to make sure that this is working for you. They're like, amazing. And then when do I say, like, and by the way, there's an onboarding that we do. There's an onboarding event where you get to fly out to us, and we're going to teach you these strategies. At which point do I bring up in the call? So that was something that he gave me clarity on. Like, I was thinking in my mind, I was like, hey, by the way, to get started, there's a $5,000 onboarding fee that I haven't talked to you about at all, but it's here. Like, how do I create the value of the onboarding before asking them to pay for it? So that's what my confusion was. And then, do I talk about the onboarding as part of the VSL that I created? And he told me yes. He told me essentially what he says is like, your onboarding is part of your core offer, so sell it together with your month-to-month plan. So what he said is this: is like, when you go to explain to people how your service works, say this. Okay, so you get three things. You get help with your advertising, help with automation, and one-on-one ongoing coaching and support to make sure that StudioHub works for you. However, to make sure that this is all set up properly, that you and your team know how, like, one of the ways this wouldn't work for you is like if you didn't know how to use it, if you didn't know how to get the best results. So to help you with this, we created this one-on-one onboarding experience where we are going to do the tech setup for you. We're going to train you and your staff on how to use the system. We're going to do all of the regulatory process. And on top of that, you get to fly out here to South Florida, and we're going to give you a one-on-one onboard. We're going to give you in-person onboarding training. You get to meet other business owners. We get to have lunch together. So that's kind of what the pitch looks like, which now I see how that's very valuable. Yeah. Another thing too is like, to how much detail do I give prior to somebody jumping on the sales call with me about how all of our automations work and so on? Because one of my fears is that if I start talking about the automations with clients, I've said this before, they're going to get lost in the sauce, and they're going to think like, okay, does your email, can I do like this posting from your software straight to my Facebook group or something? And it's like, no, the software doesn't do that. And it's like, oh, okay, that's a deal breaker for me. So sometimes when I talk to people about all the features of what our software does, they feel they get lost and forget what they were even talking to us about. Like, I wanted to keep it very simple. Like, here's how we could help you grow your business, your student numbers. That's the main thing that I wanted to focus on. So I recorded. So I was thinking, do I record a VSL where I show like how the automations work and how our software works? And I didn't want to do that, but it was validated. Like, I shouldn't do that. And then the last question was on our ads. Do I go straight from an ad into a discovery call and then into a demo call? So essentially a qualifying call that is like a shorter 10-minute call, and then go into a demo call, a one-on-one. And I was asking him about this, and because I've had better success in the past telling people like, hey, join this 10-minute call. You get to see how we get to tell you about our program and see if this is something you're interested in. And then if you are, then we can schedule a longer call. So I've had success with that. But what he told me is that I should try and keep it at one call. Just forget the discovery call. Just go straight to that one call. And what he gave me this tip of like, okay, so this is some tactical information here. So you go from an ad into a case study. So if I'm running an ad that promotes a case study about one of our clients, it goes an ad into an opt-in page for a case study. And then this case study, once people opt in for the case study, then they get to see a headline that says, hey, watch the video below. And the video sells a call with me. So it's like, hey, on this 30-minute call, I'm going to walk you through this strategy. You're going to get an actionable plan. You're going to get this. So I am going to sell the call so that people will want to do that, will want to join a 30-minute call. So yeah, that was a good tip. So now I know what to do, how to build my funnels from now on. It's just going to be like, instead of presenting here a VSL that sells our program, the VSL needs to sell the call. And then when they book the call, then they get to see a VSL that sells the program. So yeah, so I was thinking about that, how to do that. Yeah. And the last thing that I thought about today is something that I will need to do soon. I need to create another VSL. So like, for example, today, the person that I spoke to for the sales call did not buy. And so I scheduled her for another call to meet next week. I wish you would be able to see a video that walks. So this was another suggestion that was given to me during that workshop, is create another video sales letter that gives people, that goes over all the objections that people can have as to why they don't buy, and goes over that and gives proof. So the objections that I thought of were like, it's not the right time. I don't have time. I don't have money. It's too competitive in my town. Ads don't work for me. I don't want to give people a bad experience. I don't want to grow too fast, so on. So like, these are objections that I've heard. I need to think deeper about this to see if there are any more that I can think of, and then I could record a video saying like, hey, if you are thinking about signing up for our program, but you have one of these thoughts or concerns, and I want to address them here, like it's not the right time, then blah blah blah, I don't have the time, then blah blah blah, and just go through this. And at the end, it's like, look, if you were to do this, here's some proof that this will work for you. Boom. And then just go through the proof. So that's something that I need to work on as well. So anyway, that's what I worked on today, all these things. So wanted to document them here. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in following along the journey of scaling a social media marketing agency, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next update. Bye.